Did you get his board? Oh, y'all got his board. So it's hooked? Yeah, I think so. All right. Okay.
You streaming? She said she's streaming.
Just started. She ain't streaming.
Huh?
She ain't streaming.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you for not cutting me in. Just when you thought it was safe, it is absolutely positively done. And good Tuesday evening to you. Glad to be here with you. A very controversial subject, and let me get ready to tell you that I'm going to piss some folk off. And as we used to say in the streets years ago, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. Tonight, I got to deal with some political corruption that is going on. We always talk about the political corruption that is going on in the mayor's office or other areas of government. But tonight, we need to talk about corruption on the school board. And I've got some serious documents and information before me on tonight that I'm gonna have to sit here and read. One of those documents is 8 pages long. The question tonight becomes, why is it that school board member Stephanie Love, after the promise has been made to parents and to the citizens of this community that there was going to be a national search for a superintendent of schools, why is it that Stephanie Love and brand new board member Althea Green, hell, this heifer ain't been there 2 weeks, and she's joining in with Stephanie Love to say that we don't need a national search for the superintendent of school. Let's just go ahead on and put Dr. Ray in the office. Well, Dr. Ray, Dr. Juris Ray, has allegations of sexual harassment. There are educators who are saying that he is not fit for the job. And I'm talking about educators right here in this school system. If that be the case, then he should not be the superintendent of schools. Back in March, I met with a lady that gave me a letter dealing with some of the things that was happening with Dr. Ray. Then today, I met with, at the church, Sarah Carpenter and members of her organization that you saw protesting on yesterday. An 8-page document from concerned educators and supporters. And I've read basically through most of it, and because of things that I had to do, I have not read all of it. But I am going to take time tonight and read it here on air. I'm going to read all of this information that I have on air. But Stephanie Love, and I don't have her number. If somebody got her number and you know how to text me, give it to me. Because I want to know, what is the rush suddenly to make this man the superintendent of schools? I think that our children deserve the best leader in education that we can find, be it black, be it white, be it Chinese or Jew, that can bring this educational system up to par. We've got children graduating and can't read their name in boxcar letters. Don't know nothing about no timetables, no multiplication tables. So, Stephanie, is there a backroom deal? What is the promise? And Althea Green, Althea Green, you just got there. Ain't been there a month, I don't believe. And all of a sudden, you are an expert on who we need as the leader for the school system. Hell no, you're not prepared. You're not there yet on enough knowledge to come out and say, well, we don't need no national set. Y'all paying this man $285,000 for a system that is not functionally and properly educating the children. I am going to deal with it. I'm going to read all of this information tonight that I have. So tell you what I'm going to do. T, I'm going to take a commercial break early so that I can get into all of this information that we have. Allegations of corruption by school board members, allegations of sexual harassment, allegations that Juris Ray, the interim superintendent, has a hit squad trying to locate and contact women who he has allegedly had sexual harassment incidents with, trying to get them to be silent. We're going to talk about all of this. Call your friends and your neighbors and get them ready tonight for the Thaddeus Matthews Show. We'll be back after these commercial messages. They look like they came out all right there.
I'll see you the next time. Y'all pray for me.
On those right there, you didn't get a chance to see the pictures on them, on some of the color ones. That is,
I don't think you're talking to me.
he ain't listen, I mean, he can't hear me.
Riz V, you're gone. That did well, didn't it? I'll be and figure some stuff out.
What a long day. Days are getting longer. They used to go short, but not anymore. Now they're going long. Alrighty. I'm going. Y'all have a good night. You too. Till I see you.
We're in commercial break. Okay. I meant to tell you, give me something to clean my glasses with. And thank you, and welcome back to the most controversial, the hardest hitting, the rawest, non filtered, not giving a damn talk show anywhere on the planet. Before I get started, let me issue a public service announcement. Anybody, this is to the family and friends of Desiree Dominique Tucker, whose state ID says that she lives at 1420 Briarcrest Lane, born March 26, 1923. If you know Desiree Dominique Tucker, tell her that the owner of that 2016 Ford Escape that she ran into, that person, the owner of the car, is near and dear to me. And that her daughter was driving the car, and Desiree Dominique Tucker, you ran into the car. Y'all didn't call no police, but you gave her all of your information. You sent text messages stating that you wrecked the car. And now you don't want to pay. You want Bobo to do it in the front yard for $250. If you know Desiree Dominique Tucker, whose state ID says 1420 Briarcrest, she was born 3/26, 1993, that if she does not tonight make contact with those people, then I'm going to elevate this to another level. I'm going to make sure, since you have documented that you ran into these people by your text messages, I'm going to make it very, very public. I'm going to put your information up all over social media. Then for this lady that owns the car, I'm going to make sure that the proper police notifications are made. So if you know Desiree, that sounds like somebody you knew. There, you looking at me, huh?
No, I thought you said she was born in 1923.
No, her ass be too old to be driving. I said 3/26, 1993. That make her about how old? How old is that child?
25?
Huh?
25?
About 25 years old. Please, darling, don't find out the hard way how far my arms reach. So, if you know Desiree Dominique Tucker, whose state ID says 1420 Briarcrest, and remember, I know where you work at. I'll know your whole history before the sun comes up in the morning. Do the right thing. Just, when you do right, right will follow you. That's what the old people used to say. Do right, and right will follow you. But you need to call these people Desiree Dominique Tucker. If y'all some kin to her, tell her if she don't want to be fatty beared, then do the right thing. Let the church say amen, amen, and amen again. Okay? Yeah. Gonna mess up that latest car. mm, mm. And then you tried to run, and they had to catch you. Mhm. You ain't even got no driver's license, because you gave the folk your state ID. So that means you ain't got no driver's license, girl. Don't make me have to call some of them peoples on you. And y'all know I'm good for calling them peoples. Ask that girl that was on this show that night. Wonder whatever happened to her. Dale, I wonder whatever happened to her. Huh? Anyway, all right, let me get into this show. But y'all know not to play with me. And don't play with folk that I like and love. Okay? Yeah. They know not to mess with you, don't they, Dale?
They better.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me get off into this. There is imminent corruption with the school system. I don't know, in the last 20 years, how many superintendents have we went through? 3, 4, something. Something like that. But Dr. Dorsey Hobson left to get a better job and opportunity the end of the year. They appointed Dr. Juris Ray. What was his position? He was a chief of academic operations and school support for the district before accepting his new position. He has a contract. The Shepherd County Schools announced him as the interim superintendent. This is back in March. Well, he was voted in December 2018, right before former Superintendent Dorsey Hobson left to work in the private sector. The school board promised that they were going to do a national search to find a superintendent, someone that is able to lead this school system. But here last week, school board member Stephanie Love decided that she didn't want to follow the promise that this board had made to this community, that all of a sudden she wants to come up with a resolution at the end of the month for this man, Mr. Dr. Ray, to become the permanent superintendent of schools. Althea Green, who has only been on the board a month, maybe 2, is co-signing this. Althea Green, who had plans to run for District 7 until she was told probably that she probably couldn't win, was appointed and voted on, however to do it, to the school board, and she's joining in. This city is too large of a city for us to keep on bringing these local yokels into the educational leadership position of our children. What makes me so concerned about Dr. Ray is the fact that there are numerous, let me clean my glasses a little bit. Dale ain't bringing no tissue, so I'm gonna use this t-shirt right here. because I got to do some reading. Thank God I went to Manassas where they teach you how to read. There are allegations of corruptions. There is allegations of Dr. Ray being an adulterer, sexually harassing women in the system. And I think that what should be done first is to investigate what's going on with him. Do we want a director or a superintendent, excuse me, that is sexually harassing the employee? Hell, y'all already got a drunk. What, Scott McCormick, former city council member, school board member, they called him drunk the other night. Said he had had one drink, and the police affidavit said there was a strong aroma of alcohol. You was a drunk. So we got a drunk there that's making decisions about our children. Then we have maybe a person that is a sexual harasser. Now I got all of this stuff, and I want to read it. Okay. Let me read some of this information that has been received that all of the media in town has. All of your so-called mainstream media has this information, but none of those mediums have asked any questions. Let me go with some of the first letters I got, because this one I got right here, damn, it's 8 pages long. Whew. So glad I went to Manassas, because they taught us how to read. I'm gonna need a drink when I get through tonight with all this reading. Let me read this first one. This comes from FT. It was alarming to hear the Shelby County School Board vote for Dr. Ray to be interim superintendent. Most people close to him know that he is abusive to women. No. He is a tyrant and a very vengeful man. His leadership style is that of a dictator. Dr. Ray believes he is all knowledgeable, as self-absorbed as they come. Abusive, abrasive, and a downright adulterer. Lord Jesus. For God's sakes, people, he was and probably still is sleeping with his former secretary, Ms. Franklin, who works or worked, not certain where she is now. Well, I'm going to tell you where she is. Miss Franklin, because I had some people call me when I talked about this the first time, she working in the Shelby County Assessor's Office. That be where Miss Franklin happened to be right now. Yeah. Okay. Some of you all really know all of this, I'm sure. Oh, he skins and grins with the best of them. He's a total con man. But don't cross him as a subordinate or watch the hell out. Soon you will see him terminating people who he has previously gone to war with. He doesn't believe in forgiveness if you challenge him or are on his bad side. He smiles and grins a lot, but he is simply a mean man. If you challenge his decisions, you better look out. I'm one of the many principals who are talking about how in the heck that board members select him as interim superintendent out of all of the more qualified candidates, such as Dr. Rod Richmond or Dr. Whitelaw, Dr. Hunter, and others anywhere in the country or world. Regardless as to Dr. Ray, I feel there should be a national search for fresh blood. The district always seems to do better with a superintendent from out of this area. As a lifelong Memphian, I hate to even say that, but just look, I am asking you to be true to yourselves, so must I, and that is my belief. They come with no animosity, favorability of friends or fraternity, revenge on others, expand viewpoints, and hopefully not a known woman abuser. Lord Jesus. These are all factors as to why Dr. Ray should not be superintendent. Any man who hits women, no, he don't do it, cannot be a good leader, and every real woman and real man should agree. You are not a real woman or man if you accept men hitting on women or pretend it's not happening. This society should not allow that kind of behavior to be swept under the rug and ignored. We are in the beginning of a huge women's movement, and SCS is closing its eyes and ignoring the obvious. Well, I hope it doesn't come back to bite you, because you can't say you didn't know now. I hope this is not the first time you are hearing of this. That would be surprising and even more alarming. Now get ready for him to say he is being singled out, victimized, looking pitiful, and flat out dumbfounded while seeking sympathy. This has nothing to do with taking a black man down. He is an abusive person to women, and simply should not be leading the district as such, black or white. Lots of people talk about it, and now you definitely know. You were voted in to handle the lives of our children with our trust. Please do right by them and us. It's time for real women and men to stand up and take action. Don't be the one that didn't listen, then you act like you surprised. That was one letter. That was from FT. And I can understand these administrators not putting their full names on this paperwork. Let me read this second letter, and then I'm going to take another commercial break before I read these 8 pages. But I want the citizens of this community to see why I'm saying what I'm saying. Then, if somebody got Stephanie Love's number, send it to me, because I like to hear what's her reasoning for bypassing the promise that the school board made, and they voted on it, to have a national search. Okay? Why? Okay. Dear board commissioners and Superintendent Hobson, in the light of the Me Too and Time Up movement, I can no longer stay silent and watch or hear about inappropriate sexual harassment and misconduct. I am speaking about the antics of Dr. Joris Ray as he builds his department by sucking up everyone's program and money while hiring his incompetent fraternity brothers. Excuse me. He continues to use his power and position to proposition and exploit women. I know because he did it to me and then talked about me behind my back. Mm, mm, mm. I have heard other women talk about him doing it to them as well. I have been very hesitant to say anything out of fear of retaliation with many years before I can retire. Nevertheless, I had to say something when I saw him out recently behaving inappropriately with another SCS employee. I was discouraged from saying anything by some, and others said, do it. I also know he is married and said to be physically abusive, and two of the many reasons I rejected him. I support the superintendent 100% and think he does a wonderful job. Unfortunately, he has people around him who are making him and the board look ununiform, and uncaring, which I know isn't the truth. Superintendent Hobson should be more aware of the people he hires and really look into their background. I'm sure he doesn't know about Dr. Ray and his shenanigans, but it's no secret, just like others who are in top SCS management positions. It can't and shouldn't be ignored. Hopefully, this will be investigated. Too many people are talking about it, and I don't think it's going away. Not if I can help it. Thank you for your time. That comes from M. Jones. Here's what I'm saying to any of you women. If you got the receipts, you've got text messages, you got love letters, you got cards, you got proof, send it to me. And anonymously, I'll take your number off the text and post them publicly for this community to see. Just based on those two letters, there should be a investigation. News media persons have said, well, it ain't signed. Well, hell, you know them folk working at the Board of Education, teachers and principals, and they can be fired by the superintendent. That the superintendent does not have to go before the board to fire anyone. In fact, the board has no business that it can handle concerning the hiring and firing of employees. But before this man becomes the permanent superintendent of schools, he should be investigated. We are going to push, and I met with Sarah Carpenter and about 6 or 7 of her committee people, those that you saw protesting on yesterday. Sarah's schedule is busy this week, but she will be a guest on the Thaddeus Matthews Show on next Monday night. All right, this 8 pages that was sent on behalf of concerned educators and supporters gets real deep. Let me, before I do that, give me some water and take a commercial break. Hey, don't forget, now I got, y'all see that nice commercial? I created that commercial on my phone. I put some stuff on my phone, some apps on my phone. I made that nice commercial for Dr. Harris. Y'all need to get this. We got to get rid of all of the corruption in this city and county. This shirt ain't but $20. It's going to tell you on there, on the commercial, how to get this online. Add $5 online so that we can take care of the postage and handling. Let's take a commercial break, and we'll be right back here on the Thaddeus Matthews Show. Let's see who needs to go. Dr. Hendricks, Dry Hendricks, or whatever your name. Noon, name murder, whatever your name is, you gone. What hour was talking about this mess? She's talking about, is she in my board members? Hey, T, did you redo that? Did you redo that lower third for erectile?
The email,
Yeah.
therector@gmail.com. Yeah, I do it.
You have you already done it?
Nah, not yet. I'm about doing it.
Okay, let me know when you got it done.
Okay.
What's wrong with him? Well, you'll never find out because you gone. He gone. Crawley, you gone. And you never come back. Once you're blocked, you're never able. So don't get in my inbox. I won't come back. Fuck you. We ain't talking about the motherfucking bunnies. We talking about the show. So you gonna stay on my subject or you gone? Stephen, I'm gonna give you another shot. That's that 1 month silly thing, and your ass gone. How many more? Have you got the lower third done yet? It's up. All right, bring it up when we come back. Nay, murder, bye. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Find out when his spot ends tomorrow. Is it about up? How long did he have?
To the 30th.
To when?
The 30th.
Of this month? And welcome back to the Thaddeus Matthews Show. This message, I guess this could be considered a public service announcement too. This is for all of the men with a fallen soldier. Your soldier is dead. Put it up there, T. Yes, you have a fallen soldier. He died in battle. Your wangama thing won't get in no thing no more. I'm here to help you. What a product at, Dale? You bring it up here so the peoples can see. Men, look, if your thing ain't working no more, it's a fallen soldier. It died in the line of duty, okay? It can't salute. It can't stand at attention no more. I'm here with a declaration of independence. I'm going to make that thing work again for you. I got the product. It's called the Erection. This is for men all over the country. If you're watching me right now, your thing don't have to be soft. No more, no more, no more, no more, no more. Your woman don't have to tell you, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more. Oh, yeah. I got what you need. I got it in the coffee, and I got it in the peel form. You just take this in about 15 minutes after you get your foreplay going on. That soldier will rise from the dead. Be just like Lazarus. You'll be able to come forth. Okay? I got it. What I want to do for men all around the country. Those of y'all in the city, y'all know to come and find me at the church. I got the product. Next week, I got to get some more product in-house. But on my national basis, I got thousands of samples. Thousands of samples. People, men all around the country. Here's what I want you to do. Go to the website, to the email, the Erection. You can take the www off on the email, don't you? Yeah, take that off. They'll be thinking it's a website. Can you put it up real fast? What she said?
She's correcting it for you.
You're about to correct it. She's about to correct it. Because I want all you men to be able to perform. Your woman wants you to be able to perform. Okay? Yeah. If you are a fallen soldier, you can be a veteran with medals on. Your woman gonna give you a medal because it ain't been working. Okay? The Erector at gmail.com. Go there right now and tell them I was listening to the Thaddeus Matthews Show. Just put T. Matthews on there. And you're gonna get a free sample. Gonna have to put it in the mail now. Now, put the $5 when it comes for postage. You have to pay the mailman. The government is almost broke. It ain't going to us. It's going to the government. But you gonna be so proud to have your thing working again. Ladies, if your man's thing ain't working, you get on there right now. The Erector at gmail.com. The Erector at gmail.com. If your get up and go done got up and went, come on, get you some product. Don't be a teaser, be a pleaser. Yeah, that thing y'all tired. Ain't y'all tired of the men just trying to pack that thing? I'm trying to get it in, baby. It just, you trying to stuff it in there. You know that ain't gonna work. She might grin and go along with it, but she ain't happy. She wants a firm one. All right. All right. Go there. Leave it up there for a minute, cause somebody got to go to the back and get them a pencil. If you're 60, 70, 80, it'll work for you. It is not a pharmaceutical. It's an herb. It's what God put in the ground to make your thing work. Get what God got for you. Hey, won't he do it? Yes, he will. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Yes, get it, get it, get it. I got old men wrinkled up and they can barely make it. They be limping one side longer than the other, but they still trying to get some. And I got what makes that thing work. I'll just come on by the church and get you some, all right? All right, let me get into this. We're dealing with the board. This is 8 pages. I was trying to, what time is it? I'll be through with this by 10 after 8. Let me read this. This is 8 pages long. It's an open letter on behalf of concerned educators and supporters of Shelby County School. Dear public education partner, we need your support, dialogue, and influence. Shelby County Schools is in a crisis. Poor, inconsistent leadership by the school board, as well as inconsistent, inauthentic, self-serving leadership at the superintendent level, now and past, have completely damaged any momentum gained over the past decade. Now you can tell this was wrote by one of them educated people. We are continuing our efforts to reach out to all advocates of public education and media outlets in the city with hopes of exposing the years of corruption looming at the executive level of Shelby County Schools. Recently, some members of the SCS board have attempted to deny the Shelby County public its opportunity to contribute truth to the superintendent's search by recommending ending it. This is the highest level of corruption that is alive and well at SCS. Ask yourself, what has Joris Ray given to Stephanie Love in the past 3 months to motivate her to recommend ending a search that she was on record proclaiming fair and necessary? Somebody send me that girl's number so I can call her. It is clear it has mandated the hiring of her friends and community activists in the FACE office. I don't know what the FACE, do you know what the FACE office is?
I can find out.
FAC, I don't know. He has promised her he will help to strengthen her re-election campaign by building a new Trezevant High School in Fraser. He has performed many unethical acts of him by board members Love and Orgel. We are well aware of how Billy Orgel aligns himself with easily influenced black men who crave power to push his unethical agenda of white privilege and divisiveness. We have witnessed it with him being the force behind moving former Superintendent Dorsey Hobson into the interim and permanent role. Again, with his manipulation and bullying of board member Kevin Woods, who also has business connections to Ogle with his involvement in the FedEx relocation deal with Councilman Boyd and now holding George Ray hostage for his support. It is common knowledge that Billy Ogle forced George Ray to re-employ John Baker as his chief of staff and watchdog in exchange for his support for the interim superintendent role. The corruption and unethical behavior has clouded the true focus of moving this district forward in a positive manner. It is time to end it, starting with a professional search for the next leader of this district. Page 2. Whew. We are all puzzled by Board Member Green's support of this ridiculous recommendation, but it is clear she is well involved with the internal politics of the city. We all know how Althea Green won the interim seat. Her relationship and cousin, excuse me, to Willie Brooks. She does not possess enough institutional, let me get a little water on all this reading. Enough institutional knowledge about George Ray or the district interactions to determine he is the best candidate. She should be encouraged to observe and learn her role prior to aligning herself with someone she truly does not know personally or professionally. This is a reckless abuse of power and influence by someone who refers to herself as a seasoned educator with an open mind. It is time for true change, and there is no way we can embrace change by recycling the same level of incompetence and corruption year after year. Sorry, man, you gone. See, y'all didn't know I could do this and read, did you? I went to Manassas High School where we were able to do more than one thing at a time. It was extremely disturbing to hear George Ray now has a street team out patrolling Memphis, consisting of members of the Cassia consulting firm, Adrian Bond, and individuals who consider themselves fixers, Eric Stafford, attempting to bribe and or silence females who have been disrespected by and mentally and physically abused by him. It has been brought to our attention that these individuals are using money, bullying, and threats to make these, let me do this for Instagram so I can bring them back on board. It has been brought to our attention that these individuals are using money, bullying, and threats to make these womanizing and abuse allegations go away. Is this the man we see that has 95% of favor by the so-called community? Stephanie Love mentioned during her comments. If he has done nothing wrong, why employ these individuals to silence these women? Is this truly the best our own backyard has to offer? Shelby County deserves the right to a search for the best possible candidate. Personality and familiarity should not be the drivers. Competence and integrity should be the drivers. We understand that those that support him are supporters because they benefit from the corrupt practices he puts in place, such as shifting all eyes-on principals to other schools as principals, versus following the letter of the Tendo grant guidelines for improvement by removing them from principalships, since they would no longer be considered high functioning, effective leaders. Example: Oak Haven's principal is now the principal of Sheffield High, and Wooddale's principal is now the principal of Manassas High. No, y'all ain't messing up my school, is it? Oh, it's gonna be some problems now. Y'all gonna mess up the gold and the blue. No other superintendent in the past decade has violated this process except Juris Ray. This has been done to ensure principals are loyal to him. There have been too many inaccurate stories shared across media outlets about the illusion of success. As a solid group of educators, parents, and community members, we have seen firsthand the successes and challenges of the largest district in Tennessee. Given we have witnessed minimal incremental successes, there have been and are numerous cover-ups, backroom deals, unjustified bonuses, terminations without cause, extreme levels of cronyism, incompetency, and sheer misconduct. This has occurred under the watch of the most recent superintendent and the current interim superintendent. Neither were or are qualified to lead this district, and it is time for change. We want to see this madness end as the board begins a much needed search for a permanent leader. The past stories featured on a local news stations around bullying data in Tennessee were quite interesting. As the reporter walked through the Shelby County data, we were pleased to see a true conversation is happening regarding what is not happening in the Shelby County School District. The story was definitely headed in the right direction. There are several areas and data points that are inaccurate when it comes to academics, and social supports across the district. For example, the data surrounding improved reading levels of superintendent's academy participants last summer is highly deceptive. Many teachers and administrators who work in numerous academics and academies discuss the lack of structure, enormous waste of resources, and non-existent instructional components. Continue to ask questions of the current superintendent as well as his team. He will likely not provide clear, concise responses because he has no true connection to the academic or social support work of schools beyond stating he is in support of students, teachers, and administrators, and he listens. We are requiring much more of our permanent leader and his or her cabinet. They'll come take care of this Instagram for me. Fix it, Dale. Very few of the top level leadership members are adequately equipped to serve in the roles they currently hold, including the interim superintendent. Far too many areas are being hidden from the public's view. The goal of the interim superintendent and his deputy, Angela Whitelaw, has been singular: survive and keep the secrets of the district's true challenges out of the spotlight. It was their purpose as cabinet members under the past leadership, and now that both are leading the district, it has become even more important for them to cover up and deflect to avoid exposure of incompetence. As seasoned educators who want to see a highly qualified candidate take the permanent role, we are committed to sending as much information as possible to the media in an effort to paint a true picture of the state of Shelby County schools. Joris Ray is indeed a lifelong Memphian and has been employed by the Memphis City Shelby County school system for 2 decades. This is not in question. He has managed to undeservingly transition into a few different positions within leadership. This is also not in question. What is in question is what has he actually done while in these roles? The answer is simple: very little regarding the collective work of a school district. George Ray has many flaws as a person, given the numerous relationships he has had with women across the district. Lord have mercy. But these comments are not personal vendettas or attacks. They are questions of credibility and effectiveness. We want to encourage all to look beyond the cheerleader comments at board meetings, self-promotion, citywide tours, and personal testimonies to concentrate fully on the long-term goals of selecting the most. Wait a minute, why is? Man, why are you bothering me while I'm on air, Cliff Dates?
I'm so sorry, my brother. You always give me a chance. How you been doing?
I'm doing fine, Cliff Dates.
Call me when you get some tips.
Why are you not supporting Dr. Willie Harrington?
I am. That's my partner. That's my best friend. He got all of my support and my money too.
He got your money? Well, I'm gonna ask Doc if you'd have gave him some money. I'll call you.
He got my support and my money. I'm gonna give him.
Okay. Well, he probably needs your money more than he needs your support. I'll call you after the show, Cliff. Thank you.
Please do.
Okay. All right. We're gonna see if you give Doc some money. So he made you a millionaire, so I'm sure you're gonna have some money for Doc. Now let me go back to what I'm doing. I just saw his name pop up. Okay. I am writing and speaking on behalf of the numerous educators, students, and community members who believe we truly have a unique opportunity to move beyond the typical Memphis popularity contest, status quo, for selecting the next leader of the Shelby County Schools to a level of selecting a homegrown or national candidate who has done his or her work. We are equally proud of all of the educators and leaders who are products of Memphis City Schools, but this certainly does not imply that we will select and follow the next Shelby County Schools leaders based on his or her high school or neighborhood affiliation. We value all children, all alumni, and would like to see all neighborhoods prosper. Isn't that the mantra of public education? Talking about what would and could happen has yielded minimal progress for the children and educators of this district. Educational life has to be a literal party for favored educators and consultants in this district for the past 5.5 years. Those who truly know the work and can effectually execute around it have been pushed aside or hidden from the front lines. We are exhausted with hearing and reading the multiple articles from the media that have less than half of the true facts, including regarding the real work of this man. It is well beyond time for the media to be more responsible in its reporting. Given Dr. Ray is sitting in the interim superintendency currently, truth and accountability is necessary. Yes, he has been responsive to some students, parents, teachers, and some principals. This small group does not represent the voice, the opinions, and belief of the masses. Communicating with these stakeholders is important and a very helpful part of the work of a leader. We are well aware of the contributions and lack thereof from Joris Ray. We want our leader to authentically care about our children and staff and be capable of effectively leading the charge on the enormous task of moving a large number of students to proficiency over the next 6 years. We want to like our leader, but we would much rather respect our leader for his or her depth of knowledge and ability to lead effectively. Credibility and effectiveness are equally as important as likability. As we continue to consider truly what Joris Ray's work and impact have been, both have been minimal. Joris Ray has hitched his wagon to many initiatives, processes, movements, etc., that were in play well before he transitioned into the appointment he received. There is an illusion of doing based on affiliation and titles that live in the district at every level. Each initiative Joris Ray has claimed has been developed and implemented by other individuals with very little acknowledgement of the original owner. I implore you to dig deeper and ask more questions about the foundation of the district, such as its financial state. At least $50 million in the red due to excessive bonuses, top-heavy hires and appointments in the academics ops, human resources, and general central office areas, and the difference between initiatives on paper and initiatives in actions. Much of the work that has been discussed on these self-promoting tours across the city was and is led by others, those who are grounded in academics and social development of children. Dr. Ray has few connections to academic progress of the district. His actual knowledge and implementation of the social emotional learning and restorative justice practice in the district are extremely limited. He and his seed team have done little to move the efforts forward. Any other academically grounded focus for the district is foreign to him as well, although he relies heavily on the gift of gab to convince those who are not highly effective educators that he knows how to do what he claiming. Contrary to what was shared at the special call BOE meeting, Dr. Ray has not done it all. He does do well at courting consultants and vendors while finding interesting methods for approving large contracts of groups such as iReady, which is a curriculum associate, Sparko, etc. Has there been any gauge? Whew, how many more pages I got? Jesus. Gauge effectiveness of services and products from such vendors. Juris Ray's greatest accomplishment has been to serve as the director of alternative schools post-merger. If you look closely into these schools, you will also see that progress has been spotty and focused on the successes of 1 to 2 schools. He has had the opportunity to learn various roles and do the work. But that has not been his goal. He continues to rely on pouring out catchphrases laced with common educational jargon to defend his platform. We are tired of this same approach to leadership. It is apparent that listening and showing up at social events are synonymous with support. Does Dr. Ray know what to do with the information he is gathering? Can he conceptualize the systematic needs of SCS to continue to move it forward in the manner needed? His teams possess limited knowledge and expertise and are not equipped to fulfill the enormous tasks associated with their roles. It is time for everyone, including the media, to learn that simply being a lifelong Memphian and being employed by the district for 22 years does not equal effectiveness. What has Juris Ray and his team actually contributed to any shifts in academics and our social improvements for a noticeable amount of children in Shelby County? Public, how many pages? Ooh, Jesus. Public appearances at groundbreakings, repasses, and local programs are nice, but what has he truly done or is he doing to impact overall academics and fiscal soundness of the district? Look beyond the fluff and feel-good stories and ask questions regarding the majority of struggling students, schools that have remained well below the state average in academic performance areas, enormous amounts of expulsions of children, multiple pending lawsuits, abrupt termination, and sexual harassment allegations. Look more closely into the unqualified members of Juris Ray's team, such as Billy J. Walker, Valerie Matthews, she ain't no kin to me, and Lori Phillips, who have little to no experience and expertise in the area for which they serve. Ask questions regarding the many policy violations in Billy J. Walker and Valerie Matthews' personnel files, including the removal and distribution of multiple optional school transfer forms to outside entities and egregious spending on food for events, respectfully. Also, take a closer look into the personnel file of Juris Ray? Has it been emptied, or does it still contain the multiple sexual harassment and discrimination complaints from various female educators across Shelby County? We are fed up with the facade of effectiveness that has plagued this district. We, as seasoned administrators, continue to listen for more depth of knowledge beyond the personal testimonies and childhood stories of the interim. Areas that have been put in place over the last 2 weeks were approved and slated for implementation prior to Juris Ray's taking on the interim leader role. Do not be fooled by the pomp and circumstance that surrounds this interim leader to distract the public from uncovering the lack of deep knowledge and effectiveness. There are several highly qualified individuals in-house and nationally who possess the total package, likability, and proven expertise. We do not want another politician sitting in the superintendent's seat. We want an individual who is capable of leading effectively based on knowledge, skills, compassion, and expertise. The bottom line is Juris Ray may have some favorable qualities to be a satisfactory team member, but he certainly is not prepared to lead SCS as superintendent permanently. Our group will be watching closely to ensure the board is held to the highest standard of making an educated and data-driven decision in the selection process based on numerous factors. To that end, there has also been a great deal of new conversation around the Destination 2025 plans for academics and college career readiness highlighted in the new 7-step plan toward Destination 2025. An amazing amount of rhetoric tossed around, I might add. Let's be clear. We need the most highly qualified and effective leaders making decisions for our children, teachers, and principals moving forward. It is wonderful to love on the children and listen and stand with teachers and principals, but you must also know what you are talking about and are doing to move the needle on the heavy work in Shelby County schools. There is daunting concern about so many uncertified administrators leading at top levels. Juris Ray, Sinitria Henderson, Yolanda Martin, Kimberly Chandler, Bradley Leon, and others are not qualified teachers for the state of Tennessee. Huh? Oh, I'm gonna have to pull their stuff. Remind me to pull their stuff when I get to the office tomorrow. Isn't our primary goal to place the most highly qualified and effective leaders in the top level of seats at SCS? How can these individuals effectively support teachers and principals through their work when many of them are not even qualified or certified to evaluate them? Can we trust that because they have been in the district for a number of years and are in key leadership roles, that they are capable of effective decision-making, coaching, and support? These individuals are making life-changing and impactful decisions. The last page. Based on what they think they know and are able to do. These individuals have been charged with setting the policies and processes by which the most critical work is done around instruction and operation. They are gatekeepers for accountability and regulatory practices. Yet none of these individuals are qualified or formally certified to evaluate teachers or principals. These individuals have made termination decisions, overseen curriculum review, made key financial and operational recommendations, etc. At least two of the individuals have never served as building principals. We are appalled and outraged that this has become the culture of Shelby County Schools District. As a part of the performance management structure across most industries, those who are tasked with evaluation, coaxing and support, and finally accountable decision making are qualified and legally certified to evaluate and support their subordinates. Educators and community leaders, educators and the community at large can find any and all of this information on the Tendo licensure website. It is extremely disheartening to know that we have several members of high-level leadership at SCS who cannot perform these dates as they are paid to perform. In addition, many of these individuals are ineffective leaders with laundry lists of complaints of dogmatic approaches, harassment, incompetence, and a clear inability to grow teachers and leaders. They call themselves academians, but could not plan, execute, or evaluate high quality instructional practices if guided. We are hopeful erroneous errors in leadership appointments and judgment calls will be reviewed and addressed. We're dependent on you as a responsible media outlet to look more deeply at the data and do your homework. Whew. Sincerely, concerned educators and supporters of Shelby County Schools. I felt it necessary to read these 8 pages. With these charges and with these allegations, how is it that Stephanie Love, Althea Green, can say that Juris Ray is the proper leader for the school system? Is he one of the good old boys? Betty Orgel is in bed with Boyd, Berlin Boyd. The corruption is running deep. I'm going to be getting the numbers of all of the school board members so calls can be made to them. How can they say that we need a national search and then all of a sudden they say, no, we want him? What games are being played? Well, none of the other media in this town has talked about this. None will, because the powers that be control every person in media in this town but me. I ain't the good nigga. Several Carpenter will be on the show. I'm going to get the list of board members' emails, and we must let them know that we expect the national search to go forward, that you will not continue to just put a Tom, Dick, or Harry to lead the school system. It is time for all parents, all taxpayers, whether you have children in the system or not, your dollars support this system. It's time to do them in. Stephanie Love, you have an open invitation to be a guest on the Thaddeus Matthews Show. If I get your number, and I'll get your number sometime tomorrow from somebody. I want to know, what is it that you think is so great about them? I also want to know, with this litany of complaints and allegations of sexual harassment, sexual misconduct, how is it that the board has not issued an investigation? You as board members, you approve the budget, and you are the superintendent's boss. Why hasn't there been an investigation into these allegations? I'm sending this out to the group that's sending out all of this information. Any information that you have, send it to my email, thaddeus.matthews@gmail.com. My name, thaddeus.matthews@gmail.com. Any of you school women who have been sexually abused, you've been harassed, and you got the receipts, baby. You got text messages. Excuse me. You got receipts on dinners. You got some love letters. I promise to keep you anonymous, but I will make them available on social media and on TV so that we can see what we're working with. All you gotta do is get it to me. Or if you just want to go by Naked Truth, in front of the little house, there's a great big mailbox. If you want to put it in one of them little brown envelopes, you can go by the mailbox at the church. I ain't worried about nobody coming and get it. I got cameras that watch the mailbox. Submit whatever proof you have. If you don't want to send an email, these allegations will not go unwatched by the Thaddeus Matthews Show. 3-5-13-2430 commercial appeal. They bought and paid for by the power brokers. I'm unbossed and I'm unbought, and we're going to find out why it is Stephanie Love, and Althea Green. You know, I ain't crazy about women preachers, no way, but Althea Green, Pastor Althea Green. How is it that y'all are going to allow a man who has allegations of abuse to women not be investigated unless y'all been promised something? Is what's going on under the table? Y'all up under that table together? Yeah. We'll be back after these commercial messages. Hell, I'm tired from just reading.
I bet you are.
How much time did that commercial have on that?
Which one is
Is that, it's time up?
What is that?
That Leandria Johnson thing?
I thought he re-up.
Huh?
Did he re-up?
I think it's up.
I'll check tomorrow.
What's your Lisa Cox talking about?
I don't know, but Iris getting in our ass.
Huh? How many more? This the last one?
You got them all in tonight.
Huh?
Do your reads. You got them all in.
Hey, did we do did we do the new automotive twice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And welcome back to the Thaddeus Matthews Show. Look, I got that's all I got? I see someone on Facebook talking about they do their duties. They go to the school. Damn it, that's what your ass supposed to do, Shalisa. You supposed to go and see about your children. And because you have a rapport at the school does not mean that corruption does not go on. Dale's daughter, who is a sophomore in a totally white college way up in Iowa, where they get 29 and a half feet of snow in Waverly. Had I not got involved, they wanted to put this young lady who is in college now. She's 16. She started college at 16. They wanted to keep her, what was the name of the school she went to? Wooddale. They wanted to keep her in the 10th grade because she had been in a private school. She came into school, had all the papers. And the teachers, it seemed as though the teachers at Wooddale were upset that a child was academically excelling. So I had to get involved. I had to play the teddy bear card. And I went all the way to the superintendent's office on the teachers there because their plan was to keep her, even though she had all the credits, all of the numbers. She don't need to be in the 12. How the hell you gonna say, as educators, that a child should remain in the 10th grade when she's supposed to be in the 12th grade? I got involved. What was the white man's name over that deal that worked it out?
I can go right now.
Because I got totally ignorant. I said, see, y'all ain't gonna keep on mistreating children. Was it Dr. Carter? I can't think of his name. But there was a white educator there that made sure that the principal, who wasn't doing a damn thing, that Guidance County, you remember her name?
Kim Possible.
Who?
Somebody, Kim
No,
Possible.
I ain't talking about Kim in the superintendent's office. I'm talking about that old ugly lady over at Wooddale that tried to keep Bree in the 10th grade. Can't think of her name. Old ugly ass woman. But I had to get involved in that process to make sure that that child was not mistreated in the system. We got children, yes, who clown and act the fool and all be back in kindergarten, and you're letting them graduate. We got children that are graduating and can't read their name in boxcar letters. So the leader of the school system needs to be one who gives a damn, not about the politics, but gives a damn about the children. Okay. So when I see y'all on Facebook talking about, I go to my child's school, damn it, that's what your ass supposed to do. You don't get no apple for that. You don't get no medal for that. You did what a parent is supposed to do. You took your ass to the school to see what's going on. So because they treat you, hell, do you think they was gonna mistreat me? They went on high alert when I walked into the school with Dale and her daughter.
Kevin McCarthy.
Kevin McCarthy. The white man did it. Because, see, the Negroes, but they knew I couldn't put them on total front street. They know I'm the one in the city that don't give a damn. So we've got to be protective of our children. And that's the reason I'm inviting mothers on this Saturday. Bring your sons and your daughters, because the girls mentoring will be going on at the same time in another part of the building. But bring me your son. You having problems with your son, You want them around real men. I got 5 other men that are going to be there. We're going to listen to your sons. We want to find out what their goals, their dreams, their aspirations are. And you as a parent, I want you to tell me what's the issue that you're having with your son so that we can address that in this first meeting. In our second meeting, we're going to be dealing with conflict resolution. That's probably going to be something that we're going to handle all summer long. Too many of our young kids are killing, our young boys are killing each other. Okay? They're angry for no reason. We got to deal with the anger factors. We've come together, I put together a whole curriculum that deals with conflict resolution. We are going to save the lives of those that want to be saved. You need to bring your son. At this first meeting, you can't drop no sons off at this first one. You got to come because there's some paperwork that you're going to have to sign giving us permission to mentor your child. Okay? Bring your daughters. Let your daughters go over there with Dale and the other ladies. You as ladies, when we finish, y'all can go over there too. But we're going to deal with your sons. We're going to mold them. We're going to teach them how to be a man the right way, not the street way, but the right way. I invite you Saturday at 10 a.m. at Naked Truth Liberation and Empowerment Ministry. And ain't no charge. Somebody put that lie out there, I'm charged. I don't want a damn thing but to save your child. I want to keep your ass from having to sit on the front row and look at your child laying in a casket. Maybe something can be said by real men because they've never been around real men that can change their lives. I'm looking for you, okay? Saturday, 10 o'clock. Don't forget, get your shirt, children. Get your, ain't this a pretty shirt? Real pretty. It was done by D to G screenshots. This ain't no screen printing though. This is direct to garment. All you gotta do, I gave them the idea, send them a picture, and they made it. Okay? That's what you can do. Look, they have no minimums. If you don't need but 5 shirts, 2 shirts, 1 shirt, they can do it. You can snap it, send it, and wear it. There is no minimum order requirement. There's no screen setups. There's no color limits, high quality images. Look, I got mine back the same day. You're going to get yours back within the couple of days. If you got a large, if you got one shirt, hell, just go over there and get it, okay, and get it done. Call them. They're located at 3189 North Watkins. 3189 North Watkins, right there at Delwood. Call them 901-279-0434. 279-0434. Don't forget, if you're a truck driver and you're looking for a trucking job, you need to call 901-495-0805. 495-0805. Don't forget, if you need a gun permit, learn how to use a gun. Sean Goldsmith, Goldsmith Security Academy, 634-8384. 634-8384. And you sure don't want to forget, if you need your clothes clean, DMC Cleaners, 62 Fairway at 3rd. They've been doing business with me back on the radio. They've been doing business with me all 6 years that I've been here. They are a black-owned cleaners in the Westwood area. Same-day service, in by 9. You can get your clothes back the same day. If you paid for your dry cleaning in advance, you only pay half price. 789-7983. I got to go. Whew, I'm so tired of reading tonight. I need me a drink. Okay. All right, I gotta go. Thank you so very much. We are going to stay on this situation. Again, you've been harassed, you got a problem, send it to me. You will remain anonymous. Send it to Thaddeus.Matthews@gmail.com. gmail.com. Don't get you guys that need to get your little thing working. The soldier is dead. He on life support. The Erector at gmail.com. I'll send you a free sample. I got thousands of free samples. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the baddest man on TV. My name is Thaddeus Augustus Matthews. Until tomorrow evening, top of the evening to you. I'm tired as a motherfucker. Sucker fuck, clean your mammoth's clothes. Dig that dead bitch up and take them Goodwill clothes off that dead hoe that you buried that bitch in, and we're gonna clean them and put it on your grandmammy because that bitch about to die too. Now you have a great eating, dumb motherfucker, you.